A very warm welcome back again to Stone Valley for episode 19 with me, MrSealyp. Rather than have the harvesters sitting around doing nothing while I'm trying to get other things organised and sorted out, I thought I'd get them onto a couple of harvesting contracts, make me a bit of extra money. I'm trying to build back up again so we can invest in cows, bigger seeder, planter, rig set up to go with the big bud. That's kind of what I'm aiming for at the moment, so a few more hours again need to be put in on this, I think. It's just gone lunchtime and I've taken, as you've seen, a couple of harvest contracts under my belt, and I thought I'm going to have another crack at a cotton one. Field 18, if I scroll all the way back up to there, Field 18 was a cotton harvest. I'm at 84% complete, I haven't delivered any yet. If we go over to the map, this one here, the two cotton harvesters are on the field, and what I did was brought all the bales over. Now, rather than let the two harvesters run to 20,000 litre bales, these ones, I stopped them at 10, so these are all pretty much 10, a fraction over, so they're all 10s. These are all 5s. So what I'm hoping to do this time, which I failed to do last time, is deliver the bales to fulfil the contract and have some left, so I can make some money. It didn't work last time, so I was determined to make this work this time. I have also been tipped the wink that Field 29, that I did the kind of alfalfa experiment on, they wanted it planted with alfalfa, which I did, thinking, fantastic, can't wait to see what happens when a contract comes up. I have been told if you do an alfalfa contract on any of the contracting fields, it effectively knocks them out of the game, because you then don't get a harvest contract come up for them. That will just sit with alfalfa on it now indefinitely. That's a big field worth a lot of money with fertilizing contracts and sowing and harvesting, that kind of stuff. I don't really want to have that out of action, so potentially I'm going to have to buy it, even if it means taking out a loan, buy it, plough the whole thing, then sell it back, and hopefully it will trip back into the contracting system. Maybe. Honestly, I'm not too sure with that. Plus, Field 3 and the bottom part of Field 3 with our sugar beet in are both ready to harvest. As you can see, I've sent the harvester across the top end there, or bottom end, depending. I mean, I don't know why I said top end. I think because I always kind of come from this end first and go that way. I mean, that's the top, but and the other harvester is, where do I leave the other harvester? Is that it there? That's parked up on the grass first, so that will come down, that will do that end, then I'll set them both off on Field 3 on the rye. So far, that bit there has already yielded 14,400. That's a full tank. I'm expecting to be fairly good yield on rye, but then that said, rye doesn't pay out very much. So, what we'll do now is start delivering these. I got the bale spike from the store. That's part of the, I think it was part of the John Deere cotton pack thing, wasn't it? The bale spear. It's a fantastic bale spear for wheel loaders. So there you go, look, 10,008. So I tried to do all these. Let's go a little bit deeper on that one, there we go. At 10,000 litres rather than 20. I'm just curious to see if we can get away with making a bit of that post really is in the way, isn't it? %, transported. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to carry on until we get to a point where it says contract complete. I'm probably going to do all the 10,000 litre ones and then see where we're at. I don't want to deliver any of the 5s. I can't pass that. Right. So that is how it's supposed to go, which now means contract complete and I should still have 20,000 litres to deliver, which is all mine. Which is where I went wrong last time. The bale sizes were too big, and when it took the last bale it only required something like 1 or 2%, and the bale was worth about 10. I lost out. This time I won't, so I made sure I didn't. Now that's easier to do with the round bales, because the round cotton baler is only 10,000 bales rather than 20s, but that said, you don't get given that as an option for contracts. So first one in, 27,000, very lucrative. Cotton is great if you get it right. If you're doing it for yourself, absolute bonus. If you're doing it as a contract, it's great. It takes a bit of time, but it's worth it if you end up like this with stuff left over. So you just have to think a little bit more about. See, these were both only 5,000 litre bales, which is wonderful. So potentially, if these are both worth coming to 10,000 litres, which the last bale was, and that was 27 grand, I could come out of this with nearly 60 grand without the contract amount. Yeah, it's 13. So well worth doing. I'm going to have to give some serious thought to Field 29 while I'm doing this, but yeah, not too sure what to do with that. I have to do something. That's not in straight at all, but never mind. The bale spikes can go back, and then the lead pair will go back to the cow farm. Now I had all sorts of stuff planned for what I was going to be doing in this episode. I was going to clear a load of trees. I'm not clearing the ones in front of the cow farm now, because I've been told that even if you clear them you can't place anything. But I was going to clear a few on the ends of Field 35 and on Field 3 itself to free up a bit of space. There you go, another 13.5, so yeah, 26, 27 grand. So we made 50, 54, something like that. And then we go on to here, contract complete, another 11. It's well worth doing. Like I said, there's no more I want to do on there for the time being. I've got jobs of my own to get done. So, all looking good. That was well worth another punt. So, where am I going to go with this? Back to the farm. Actually, that I'm never quite sure. I've been told drive with them up, out of the way. I was then told drive them down. But that I was told if your hydraulics fail and that goes donk into the ground, you catapult. But I think a lot of companies, they have like guards and protectors that go over the front as well. But anyway, yeah, we'll try not to skewer any passing motorists. That's probably the best bet. There are a few things I want to get done during this episode. One, I want to try and get the rye harvest done on field 3. The sugar beet harvest, that's going to be a whole different animal. I'm probably going to lease, because I think I can make a lot of money on that, I'm probably going to lease 2 sugar beet harvesters. The Terra Dos T440s, I'm going to get 2 of them. Now this field, the rye field, is producing at a ridiculous rate. I haven't been able to do a full strip this way or back the other way in one go. It fills up in less than a strip, so I'm getting quite a lot. But that's not a bad thing, that's absolutely fantastic, don't get me wrong. The other thing I want to do, I've just taken on a fertilising contract on field 18, and there's one available on field 11. So I want to do one on field 18 first. We are still filling out. So I want to do both of those, plus I want to get my second load of cows. Whether I'm going to get the cows done in this episode or not, hopefully. What I am going to do, again, hopefully, is lease the larger animal trailer. Art Mechanic LS, I want to say 540, but I'm probably wrong. Right, we've got a full grain tank the other side, and this one's not really far off. So what I'm going to do is swap over, unload that, and get back. But like I say, we are doing pretty well on this, and I can't complain at all. And we've still got, well, we've still got an absolute load of this to clear, so it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I've also got to do my grass cutting, because that needs to be tedded and turned to hay. Again, I'm not going to get a chance to do that in this episode. We are at that point again. I'm not scratching around for jobs. I've got so much to do. I'm now trying to work out in what order to do everything in, which is absolutely fantastic. The trees at the top there over by the dairy farm I want to clear at the end of field 3. I'm still deciding whether to T-Rex those or whether to chop them down, put them to the side as lumber, and then have them shipped off to one of the local lumber mills. There are loads. There's Arcola, and there's a whole load of places. Anyway, and then they've got the mobile sawmills all around Illinois that will come out, and contracting companies, all kind of things. So we've got a load of options available. Actually, what I'll do is jump out. That's going to stop in a second. This is almost full, so I'm just going to get to the trailer. So I'm not sure. And like I said, I want to clear some trees down by field 35 as well to make it easier for turning vehicles and stuff around if I'm doing work on my test plot. So a few things to be getting on with. I really do want to give the big brute a bit of a run out, so that's why I've taken on one of the fertilising contracts. It's just popped up on field 18, so yeah, okay. Let's go and get the other trailer. Where did I leave that? Right at the end of the field. I thought rather than drag both around at the same time, but then as it's turned out, these are filled up so quick, I probably should have had them both on. Mine's gone blank. About using the big plug. Yeah, so a lot of things to do. We're going to make a load of money. I mean, at the end of the day, whilst the money you get for rye isn't that much, like I said, the yield is good, so we'll get a lot off of it, which is fantastic. I'm going to take both of them now, might as well, since we're here. Catch on that telegraph pole though, aren't I? If I haven't already. There we go. So next time you see me, so I'm going to be, it's a bit of a juggling act now, I'm going to be bouncing between unloading these, which in all honesty, the rate they are filling up, I'm really not too sure. I'm really not too sure how much I'm going to get done in between unloading these. But I will do my best. Although, yeah, I wonder if it's still the same. I've got a really weird phenomenon happening on the field. It's a bit X-Files, Twilight Zone kind of situation. And I haven't had it happen before on field 3. But look. I've got a strip running all the way down there. Just this tiny little bit on the edge. And this bit here that hasn't grown fully. The whole rest of the field, absolutely fine. These two bits here still haven't grown. Now I get it sometimes when you're partway through planting or seeding and you click over into the next planting kind of segment, growth segment, so one part will be on the first and one part's technically on the next, so you often get one crop in a field growing in 2 different stages. But to have a tiny bit like that And this strip, and it only runs a little way along and then stops. I'm baffled. It's really weird. Anyway, I'm assuming it will at some point get to full growth and I'll be able to harvest it, or I'll just have to cultivate over it when I'm ready to do the next field. One of the two. But we are farming. On a fairly large scale now. I'm thinking of buying a pickup. If you catch my drift. Yeah, don't know. It's fairly cheap and fairly useful. So I'm thinking maybe we'll see. Now this harvester, when it gets to the end, I'll do a bit of tidying up. It's not a problem. Right. See in a bit, I'll be in the big brute and we're going to give that a run out because I really am curious to see how well this is going to work. I do need to get an auger wagon as well. A lot of people have been saying to me I shouldn't be taking the lorries onto the field. I've seen plenty of YouTubers, like I say, real live YouTubers, real farming, that take their semis, rigs, whatever, lorries onto the fields and use them. Unless it's very boggy or wet. I've seen on plenty of YouTube channels where they've got their lorries stuck because they've gone onto the field. I've also seen plenty that use auger wagons to load up by the side of the road. I did have a message. Oh, who was it from? It was up in Canada, and the guy said everyone near where he lives, they all take the lorries onto the field. He very rarely do I see an auger wagon out in the field. So again, it's back to that thing of, you know, I suppose it depends where you are, it depends on the time of year, it depends on the weather conditions, the ground conditions, whether people will or won't, you know. So I understand. That's weird. Okay. Oh, now you decide to put the pipe out. Right then, let's give the brute a bit of a run out, shall we? Field 18 is this one right next to us, isn't it? It's the one I did the cotton harvest on. Let's see how well this works, shall we? I'd say with the much larger, having the tank capacity at the back by pulling a tank, and by the fact this runs a bit faster than they normally do, even with a slightly iffy turning circle and that kind of thing, it does mean that I should be able to run over the fields faster, therefore get the job done quicker. In theory. Hang on a minute. Oh, I didn't take on field 18. I did field... Oh, no. I did field 11. I could have sworn I've clicked on the wrong one. Oh, that's slightly annoying. Field 18 was cultivating anyway. What am I thinking of? Oh, it might have been 19. Or 26. I've just got the mix. Oh, it's because it was field 26. It was 18,000. That's where I got it around the wrong way. Right, we're on field 11 then. Right, I need to drive over to field 11. And that's the thing, because field 11, the big fields, and I think I'm going to have to do what I said about buying field 29, cultivating the whole thing maybe, and then selling it back, and then hopefully that will trip back into the contracts program, potentially. Yeah, all the big fields I've had to replenish my fertiliser as I've gone. So I'm really hoping with 12,000 litres of liquid fertiliser I'm going to have way more than enough to get the job done. Like I said, as I found with the Rubicon, that I did loads and loads of fields on wash over that. And I think I could, in one complete tank load, I was pretty much doing all of the fields I owned. So I'm hoping this is the same. Although I'm sure someone did message me and say the flow rate isn't great. But again, I'm going to go onto the grass this time rather than go towards the oncoming traffic. That's probably a better option. Cool. Cool. It's always nice to try out a few new things. I honestly don't think I've used the Big Bud at all. I know when it first came out on 17, didn't it? The Brute, sorry, the Big Brute. It's like, oh, this is fantastic, really cool, you know. having been an avid follower and fan of the Welcome Farms guys for such a long time, it was like, this is fantastic, and I don't think I used it in a Let's Play. Correct me if I'm wrong. If any of you guys out there, again, I'm in that situation, I've done so many videos on so many different things, I honestly can't remember sometimes, and people message me and they'll say immediately, oh yeah, you did this and this on such and such an episode, and I'm like, blimey, how do you guys remember? It's amazing. Right, so now that trailer's going to go at a bit of a funny angle now, but wasn't the best idea. Oh, see what I mean? Full grain tank, both those harvesters. Right, let's turn this on. Let's get cruise control on. Oh yeah, look at that, man. 15? That's foot down on the whoosh pedal, that is. So what I'll do is I'll give myself a bit of a headland this end. I'll set the worker off, and then we'll see how we do with this. Oh, that is mint. Cool. Very happy. So I'm just thinking, even if it is a bit more expensive, that went straight than I thought it was going to. That's the only problem, I suppose, is with turning and everything. Having the tank on the back is going to prove a little bit difficult in some of these tighter spots. So there'll be a little bit of unsightly dragging. Yeah, that's not good at all, is it? I need to come back a bit further. You know what I'll do? Let's go all the way around that way. Even that's not going to work. Look, they're right, the turning circle is not great. Oh no, that's awful. That looks just horrendous. Sorry. Hey, we don't all get it right first time. Oh, that's both tanks full. Hooray. Oh, this is just an absolute nightmare. Come on now. Right, I'm going to turn it on and go. You know what? I'll sort out the odds and ends. I should have just kept going in one fluid movement, shouldn't I? It would have been a lot easier. Yeah, it's not going down as quick as I thought it would. I found out something interesting I didn't know about, I'd never heard about before, when I was watching Pemberton Farms, Tom Pemberton, Farm Life, with his dad the other day, and they were saying about putting slurry down on the fields, and they were talking about NVZs, however you want to talk about it, a nitrate vulnerable zone. I'd never heard of him before, and apparently it's something that DEFRA are doing. It's DEFRA, isn't it? I'm sure it's DEFRA. The UK's kind of farming agency. Even if you own the land and it's yours, and you know there's lots of rules and governing things that say what you can and can't do, there are more and more areas now being put into nitrate vulnerable zones. So areas where you're not allowed to use nitrates on the ground, so you can't use certain fertilizers and herbicides and fungicides and those kind of things, because of the fact that the ground's vulnerable, that there's potential for runoff, wash off, all those kind of things. And there are certain times of year and certain conditions that if you're not in those zones, that you can put your stuff down. I'd never heard of that before. And they were saying, yeah, more and more of the country. I'm pretty sure when I looked on, because I'd never heard of it, I thought, well, that's fascinating. I'm pretty sure it said 55% of England's farmland, or the UK's farmland, is it just England, are in nitrate vulnerable zones. So what the, absolutely mind-boggling, didn't know. Right, let's get a worker on that. Hopefully I'm not overhanging too far. It's going to stop when it gets to the first tree. I need to unload these harvesters. And let's see how far this will go on this contract without me having to refill. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't checked my comments from the previous video before starting this one, so if anyone's giving me any advice or tips or help on things that I might, because I said about cheaper ways of getting liquid fertiliser and stuff like that. If anyone has commented to say what they use, or I haven't read them between recording the last one, editing and posting, and this one, because I kind of record in different segments. So apologies if I have commented or anything like that. Right, I think we're going to be good on the first swing round. Right. We'll get a worker on this, and we'll get I can't believe that, 15 miles an hour, it's amazing. Very cool indeed. No, don't stop now. This is officially nuts. I can't keep up with the harvesters. Every time I come off the harvesters, unload them, set them off, go over and check on the spraying, it comes up, help blah blah blah, has a full grain tank. Help, it's like, been at the post office. Cashier number 1, please. Helper number, right, so let's do that. South sell point is the best price at the moment. There's no point me turning that harvester back round and put it back on the field again, because there's no way of putting it. That'll be full again in no time. And as I said, this is probably going to need a bit of tidying up at this end. I did some of it, but it will need a little bit of tidying. The sprayer is going really well. This has really bugged me. I can't believe I fell for it. I fell for the alfalfa trap. Now I am thinking, if I buy the field, but there's nothing I can do with the alfalfa. I don't think I can sell it anywhere, can I? I'm pretty sure when I was doing the testing before, there's not a huge amount I can do with it. On console, it's a much better crop for PC with Maize Plus and the Maize Plus extension and all of that gear, which is wonderful. But I don't know. I could spend the time doing what I need to do to get that off the field, but then the question is, what do I do with it? And that is a bit like field flipping. Then it's a bit dodgy in it. So I think I'll probably just cultivate it in. That's going to be the best option, I think. So, let's get the first of this unloaded. Now this is only sitting at 600 and something. I think it is sitting at 637 at the south sale point where we are now. So it's not like I say, it's not a high paying crop, but it's fairly high yielding, and it all kind of fairly balances itself out. Switch to that. Oh, actually, no, I should have done that. Let's do that. £44,000. I'm not knocking it at all. That'll give me about 88, 89 grand for a full 140,000 load. Fantastic. Right. I'm just thinking about the sugar beet now. How much money we're going to make on that in the BGA. That's going to be bonkers, that field. It's not one of the biggest ones, it's just a partition bit up, but considering what we got off the test plot, we are going to get so much off that field. So, first rye bit done. I'm thinking I'll either see you again while I'm doing a bit more of the bruting, while I'm being a big nasty brute, or when it's still done. I don't know, one of the two. Right. These trailers need a serious washout. I keep checking them. They don't need any repair work. I mean, they probably do need some repair work, but they're not at a point where it comes up on my menu. I know I don't often show me doing repairs on the vehicles, but what I will do a lot of time, just while I'm doing various different jobs around the map, I will always go into here, go to garage, and then I will scroll along my vehicles and check, and anything pops up saying repair, which I'm thinking the headers, I know the headers are both right at the moment as well. Anything that pops up saying needs repair, I'll repair it from this menu. But then what I'll also do is I'll go back into the when I go back to the yard, I'll jet wash everything, take it to my toolbox, and then do any minor repairs, that kind of ongoing maintenance. So these aren't showing. I mean, look at the state of them. These trailers need some serious cleaning out, and they probably will need some repair, but not bad enough to warrant it coming up on the menu at the moment. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what we're going to do. I'm really not sure how much. Is that full again? You've got to be kidding me. Oh no, I haven't emptied that one, have I? I was to say. No, I haven't emptied it. That's why. I'm closest to this one, so we'll do this first. Okie dokie. Big fields, big payouts. This is absolutely crazy. I'm on the last strip of both. This one is full, 14,400, with a bit left to do. That one is almost full, with a little bit left to do. But the beauty of it is, as you just see going over the horizon, I kept the fertiliser spreader as well, because it still had fertiliser in it. I didn't empty it. And the front tank, so I've put that on the Puma, which means I can do a fertilising contract, but also start fertilising my field, ready for repurposing, which means what I can also do is get the big bud over here with the cultivator on and start cultivating, so the whole process can run. When the cultivators run through a bit, I can then get the Steiger on as well and start replanting, so I can get the whole process running almost simultaneously. But what I do need to do first is unload this. Just suddenly thought that spreader's going to swing round and spread over the top of what hasn't been done yet. Just need to check on that. So let's unload this. This isn't even good. This will fill up, and I'll still have more left in the harvester. So this is going to be potentially another 88 grand in these two trailers, and then whatever else I've got left. So we're looking at so far 280,000 litres off that field, off this field. So this is all going to the Few distillery to make their rye whiskey. They have to change their name from Few to Many. I think that's a lot of rye. I really wasn't expecting this much of this, but like I said before, I'll take it. So in case you're wondering, we are nearly complete on field 11 fertilising. We have used just over 8,000 litres of the 12,000 litres we had on board, and we can put more on. We didn't have it completely full with the tank on the back. One thing I will say with having the tank on the back, which I have noticed, it doesn't always like, there we go, contract complete, it doesn't always like turning. So if it gets end of a field, sometimes it tries to turn, it tries to back up, and the trailer gets caught up and it says there's an object in the way. So what potentially I could do is bring the tank with me and put it by the side of the field. That way, if I do hire a worker, it can run up and down no problem at all, and when the tank's empty I just whiz over, refill and go. It depends how you want to go about it. If you're going to do it yourself, then it works absolutely perfectly. It's not a problem at all. I like this as a setup, and it hasn't used anywhere near as much as I thought it would, which is absolutely fantastic. So what I am going to do now though, and why not, I've got the option to do it, I'm going to collect on that, but then we are going to take on the fertilising contract on field 26, which is over by our farm. We'll accept the contract on there. Field 19, where's that one? Have I done much on field 19 before? Where's field 19? Oh, down there. Okay, that's a bit further away. So we'll do field 26 first, which is this one here, and then I can go and do 19, but we're looking good. Just wondering if I can get field 26 done with what I've got in the back of this. Probably. Certainly worth a try. At least the Brutes gets a go, has a chance. We've used all the different vehicles, we're just kind of showcasing various different bits as we go. So now it's the turn of the Brutes. Although when I was watching the other day, I was watching Welker Farms, and they're having problems with it. They've got cracks on the tank on the back. They've got some cracks and leaks, and they've been trying to fix them. Nick was saying about various different things. He had tried to fix the leaks on the tank on the Big Bud. I'm sure it was the Big Bud they were talking about. And this is the last of the rye from field 3. This takes us up to 311,000 litres off that field. That's bonkers. I mean, like I said before, fantastic, but wow. As you've just seen, field 18 fertilising contract is done. The brute's back at the shop. That's going to... No, not back at the shop, back at the yard. I'm going to do a little bit of work on that. This is going to take us over... Will it take us over? I'm just trying to think. Might take us over 1 million again. Yeah, I would think so. So, cultivating will now start on field 3. That's been fertilised. And then we'll look at what we're going to repurpose that with. I'm going to go and get my cows next, and then the task after that is going to be tackling that sugar beet field and getting all that to the biogas plant. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm hoping I can get a big chunk of that done. It's going to depend very heavily on the digester. Someone messaged me again, sorry, who did say that the digester, or the input point, I know the digester is the main kind of tank, but the point where you tip it all in takes 100,000 litres, which is brilliant. That's way higher than I thought it was going to be. So we'll crack on with the sugar beet. Yeah, and I still need to clear that bit of land. I've got a couple of bits, like I say, that I want to do. So a few more bits on the horizon. Once I've got the new cows, I'm going to obviously I need to make some time with ration. I've got a load in storage which I will use, and then I will probably need to restock some, so I'll need to make a bit, but I'll probably do it off screen because I've used a total mix ration mixer already. As you can see, the big bud is already out on the field. I did stop it momentarily because I didn't want to I want to do this bit in the corner here, just around where those bales and stuff are, so it's all kind of neat and tidy. But the other trailers left over the other side. Harvesters are both off the field. They're going to need a bit of TLC as well before the next harvest, but obviously I'm not going to need them for the sugar beet. They're going to need the sugar beet harvesters. So yeah, next stop, get some more cows. Off to the store we go again. We're going to pick up the larger livestock trailer this time. I'm thinking I might, rather than go for 36, I did that because the other one would do 12 at a time, so I just did 3 loads of 12. This one I'm pretty sure does about 56. I'm sure it's something like that. Let's go on to our livestock trailers. Animal transport. Yeah, LS540. Is that what I said earlier? So it will do 56 cows, 64 pigs, 108 sheep and 38 horses if I want to go down that route. So I'm not bothered about any particular colours. I just want to use it, really. Design? That's changed. Oh, of course, yeah, the chicken thing. And a lot of people said you can transport them, but then a lot of people had problems with games crashing and stuff like that, so they didn't bother. I think we'll just stick with lizards. Do I want to change the main colour? I could do, I suppose, but at the end of the day it's just for transport. Whoa, okay, that's bright. What have I got at the moment? Oh, you know what? No. Don't know why. Just leave it as it is. Just leave it alone. 4,998 to lease. It's not cheap to lease, but then I suppose when you look at what it would cost me for the fees to have the animals brought over, I don't know. I'd rather do it myself. I know sometimes if it's expensive to lease a vehicle, even to buy an animal trailer, sometimes it is easier, cheaper, just to have them delivered. And you pay your fee to have them delivered and they get delivered to your thing. But I have done that a few times, but I really do prefer collecting them. It's kind of part and parcel of the job, really, isn't it? But again, it's nice that you've got the option to do it either way. So, back over to the livestock market. Now obviously if we buy 50, that's going to work out a lot more expensive than buying the 36 we originally got last time, but not by a huge amount. We got enough money sitting there, and this was what I was intending to do in this episode, was to finish off by getting the next load of cows. I am going to have a crack at doing the landscaping bit for taking some of the trees down, but I've got a funny feeling some of the trees won't cut. So it'll either be a little time lapse at the start of the next episode, or you won't see it at all because it didn't happen. Or it didn't happen, or it did happen, but it was an absolute disaster. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Fingers crossed. I do still want to get a second cultivator as well. I've got a long list of stuff I want to buy, a lot of stuff I still need to do that I want to do. I did say about branching out and maybe doing some other animals. I said, have we got pigs on the map? Of course we have. There's a pig farm over by the cemetery. So yeah, potentially we could do pigs, or we could go down the route of sheep again maybe. I'm not too sure. Now this time I did think about going brown and white. We often go for black and white because that's kind of the Holsteins, however you refer to them. What I haven't done, I don't think, we've got black already. Let's go for brown and white. I'll have to look up what species they're cows. What breed of brown and white? I know Jerseys are normally a pale brown. Anyway, regardless of that, I think that's right. 125 grand, does that seem about right? I don't know. We'll soon find out, won't we? It doesn't tell me how. Well, they are absolutely packed in, aren't they? Double deck. Let's get them delivered. And then the process, like I say, of using whatever total mix ration I've still got in storage, we'll put in. Then I'll get their water in. We'll get some straw in for bedding. I've got plenty of straw, I know that for a fact. I think probably the TMR stuff and that I'll do off screen because you saw me do that when I set up the first lot. This should over double our production as well. Back to where I was before. I'm not sure where these unload. I'm going to put these in the other side, in the other barn pen. I'm just wondering whether or not I've got enough space to back this in wherever it might be. Or is it just right there? Could be. Or is it at the back there? You just wait to find out. Let's put that on. Jump out very quickly. There we go, at the back there. Fantastic. Take that off. Spin that right round. Actually, I'm just thinking I don't need the bale trailer anymore, do I? I've got that bale trailer sitting there, and because I'm doing loose material now, I had it and used it when I needed it, but I don't actually need it now. Right, let's get them in. Should be 50. Move that out of the way. I did uncover the silo because when I'm getting spillover from the feed, that is actually silage rather than a mixed ration. You get silage. So rather than dumping silage back into the trough, what I can do is just put it back over there in the silo and then use it for mixed ration or whatever. So they should all be out in the field. Milk collection will be from over here, I think, when I get around to doing it. Water troughs there, that's good to know. Yeah, milk. Oh, that's going to be. Oh no, I suppose I can back right the way through from there, can't I? That's alright. And there we go. Oop. They're all out, so there should be split between the two fields. Yeah. So my Angus are here, and then when we work out what the other ones are, I'll find out what breed they are. Are in the other field, if we check on our livestock. So we have got 50, I did get it right. They're going to need everything putting in. Those ones at the moment are running out. Milk 6,862 litres, 11,000 litres of slurry, manure 886 on the ground. Total mixed ration, feed and stuff's looking great. I got it round the wrong way the other day. It's 10 days on 19, it was 6 on 17. Or if I got round the wrong way again, I don't know. Did I mention the manure I've been piling up here for the time being? I was taking it all the way in there, but I haven't got that much of it at the moment, so I was just putting it here, but I will scoop that up and it will get put over there at some point. It's just for ease of use, and like over the night as well, that's going to be mucking out again. So now comes the point where I need to go again with total mixed ration. Trailer will go back, I'll get the water in, bedding in, and they'll be settled in, and then we should see some nice production coming out of these. And as what will happen is, as we get to a point where I've got all the machinery I want for the farm, so once I've built up to the biggest machinery that I want to get, and as many tractors or as many harvesters as I want to get, then I'll turn my attention to increasing the herd size again. So in this one we've now over doubled our herd size, then I can sort of ramping it up a bit. But the more I ramp up, the more feed I'm going to need. So when I said about buying field 7, I might buy field 7 and convert that to a grass field. So I expand my potential for grass. That way, for silage production and hay, I'm sorted. So we have come to the end of another episode. As you can probably tell, loads more to come. More machinery, bigger machinery, more fields, more animals. I want to build this up to a really big concern, you know, where we're making a load of money and we can reinvest or buy new, or whatever we want to do. It's up to us. If you are enjoying it, if you have enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.